Here it is, the Boss Kantana water. And I tell you, it ain't no good without this here program. Gotta have the program because then you can adjust your sounds. All the sounds you need, all the different boxes that Boss has to offer. And there's your setup over here. There's something I do. Here I put it on Killer, which is a harmonizer under mode 1. There we go. It's under humans, 2 voices. The second voice is, I believe, matching the thing, but 1/3. Somebody was asking, well, what's the setting so I can play? It's for playing one note at a time. You can't hit chords with it. It doesn't work. Okay? And then on the second one, I have a nice delay, set at 425. And then, if I turn the dial on top of the amp, I could have that delay turn into a flanger. So I just come over here, give that thing a turn to so on and so forth. I'll give it a little light here. It doesn't want to light up, but I just turn this one here, and then poof, I have a flanger. So I have a whole nother set for my switch, which is the I forget what company, but it's a switch that goes with the Boss Kantana. I'm using the regular output that powers the lights. I have an extra switch over here, which, as you see, will switch between that parallel and so there's track 1 off track 2, because I was having a hard time getting that there panel switch to switch over left and right. I plugged a volume pedal right here, so you can turn up and down the volumes. The watt isn't that great anyway. So this way when I'm working, and the way I got it now set up, I see the panel's not lit, so it's on the first setting. So the first setting I have is an acoustic, which I got on the, Sneaky Amp or something like that under library there. But it's a great sounding acoustic guitar using Guitar Simulator, H&S, and adjusting these knobs, adding a stereo chorus. I guess I just did a fast delay. And of course the EQ. And another thing about playing live, let's say you set up all your equipment and now you're playing live, it doesn't sound right, go to Systems, go to Global EQ, and turn up whatever you want to make it sound correct. Let's say you adjusted all your sounds and show up at a gig and it doesn't sound right, or you turn it all up and it doesn't sound right, adjust your Global EQ. Remember to turn it all back to 0 when you're done, and then try to adjust your sounds for what you want to get. And here's the Stevie Ray Vaughan setting, which is a nice clean sound, and I'm using a great effect on here. The rotary is awesome. So that's the rotary. I just turned the dial, now I got echo. There you go. But when I'm not using that, I have it on a digital echo, and I just come over and hit that there knob, the second one on top of the amp. Before I start a song, I have a whole nother setting. Same delays, reverb, and everything, only without the sound. The metal shredder is one I made up, and it is metal shredder pitch shifter that I don't use. I use the clean boost and a delay, and then when I'm doing another song, I'd come over, I'd switch the top before the start of the song and use the splicer, which is an awesome setting, and you could go 1 to 12 to get different types of rhythmic splicing, which is awesome. also like the SR, which is the send and return. There it is right here. It's off right now. Post amp parallel. I have it way down and return way down also. And that's it when you're on the effects channel there. Now all my effects are on. I can turn on and off my effects. If I hit this one here, it's going to turn on my organ because I wanted to have an organ sound. So this is running out of the send, into the organ, out of there, and into this amp over here, which runs a 412 organ sound. But you have to run an output or just plug in to the input for it to actually work like that. So you could run something like that. It doesn't have to loop back into the amp and mess up your sound. You run it to another amp and you have a nicer sound for an organ. It isn't going to sound good going through there. You have to beware, because if you have a distortion on, or if you have the other thing, the Stevie Ray Vaughan sound on at the same time, the rotary, it'll mess with it. So you got to be careful of the sound you're using when you're doing something like an organ like that, or any other one. It actually puts the distortion back through it. I think it does. I don't know. It does something that I don't like. So that's what I did. Then I ran out of the line output. Now this line output, you could run it right into this Fender Dual 12 chorus, which I did because I wanted a nice reverb, and not that this doesn't have it, but I wanted the nice reverb and high ends that only a Fender's going to have. But the cool thing about that is when you're running out of there, go back to system here, you go to the line output cabinet, and you're doing a live room and modern sound is the one I like. Turning up and down the amp has no effect on the line out, and you're able to adjust the sound that you want, which is nice and clean. I would use that playing larger venues, have them plug right into that line out, run it to the board. It'll sound better than your speaker anyway. The Global does work on that, which is an EQ, but it's in that type of a format where you kind of have to think about what you're sliding up and down. All right, so that's under system right there. And I also have it split into a Y, and because I have a real Marshall cab, and I like the lows. The Marshall cab has, you know, the little thump, thump, thump if I'm going to do some type of metal song. So I ran it to left and right here, but to get it over here, it was buzzing, right? This one doesn't buzz for some reason. I plug in and right into that, no buzzing, but this wanted to buzz with the big power amp and all. And what I did was run it into a cordless, no buzzing. Got rid of any buzzing. So if you're having buzzing problems, get a cordless. This is my old one. It's old cordless thing running into that. Got rid of the buzzing. Now I have a nice clean Marshall sound coming out of here. So that's pretty much it. The clean track, a little bit dirtier on number 2. Over here I got a nice chorus, which is a faster chorus, and the third one is my setting that I use with a chorus and an echo. So if I wanted, I would come back here, switch it back to an echo, which is a long, long echo. If I want a double echo, I would do that. So there's another 2 sounds on here. Then I'm going to hit that parallel button, which I obviously did by mistake. Hit it here. Now it's on. I got another clean sound, Stevie Ray Vaughan, with a rotary, and then I touch the dial, it's an echo. I got this metal sound on 2. If I touch the dial, it goes into a splicer, which I can turn on and off, of course, same with the rotary and the echo. Number 3, I'm using as a, I forget what's on number 3, maybe I could replace that. But that's always good. You make up ones and move them in and out of what you want. Oh yeah, that's right. That's Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads sound, a great doubler sound here. Right there is a double, which is actually really awesome. And then I put the echo on the reverb. Another good thing about why you have to hide the 50 watt or 100 watt, 100 watt or 50 watt. I forget what this is, but one of them does not support this. The cheapest one does not support this. You have to go up and get the 100 or 50. And what's good about that Randy Rhoads thing is that when you update it to the version 2, it'll give you the EQ, it'll give you the noise reduction. I turn it up. You know, when I'm done playing, I don't want any buzzing, any sound, anything. I use it high, and it's not cutting out when you're, you know, fading away or echoes. That's another thing. The echo on here, there I'm playing a part, I turn it off, I hit this and turn on my, for cutting the sound out completely, I use a tuner. Boing, sound gone. But the echo will still keep going. Now if I'm changing between tracks, let's say, I'm on tracks, I have an echo on and I go to here with no echo, the echo will continue as you change to that new setting. So that's awesome. And you got to go to the chain. Hopefully you can see this. And there it is, this booster, delay, reverb, and effects. And here they are. You got the reverb, echo, and play, which isn't on right now. But when it is, I go to delay number 2. So there you go. You're freeing up this FX place and this FX. So if I want, I could have a chorus here, a flanger there, and delay. And you turn it on and off with the reverb. There's no adjustment on that when it's on, but there's your extra sound. On the SR, like I showed you, keep the volumes down so you don't get distortion in whatever you're running it into up there. If you're running in a loop, that's another thing, but I'm running it to something that goes to a different amp. So that's pretty much my setup for playing out live. If I want, I could just bring that and the extra amp for the keyboard sound, and I'm done. But when I'm playing the bigger rooms, I'm definitely bringing in my Fender to get that nice crispy sound. And they actually mic that one. They like the sound out of that better because it's more stable. It's a nice even output out of that, direct out of the back of the Boss. And then I'm running a cordless into the Marshall right through the top, because all the distortion, all the sound is coming out of here. So it's just right into here, right into that, and it sounds great. So there you go, Boss Katana. But don't forget, adjust your sounds with the computer.